Hi, my name's Dan, and this video is one in a series of videos that I'm doing on the design of armour and armour sets for video games, which is part of a larger suite of videos about game design topics. If you hear any strange noises in the background, I apologise. It's actually bonfire night here, which is if you're not from England, that's Britain, a British celebration involving fireworks. So there are fireworks going on down in the valley outside my window. So if you hear any kind of wheeze and bangs and stuff, that's why. It's not me being attacked or me playing games, although I could have been. Right, so what are we doing this time? We're having a look at the idea of enhancements for armor in video games. And actually, as I started to plan this, I realized that it's very, very similar to what I wanted to say a few videos ago in the series about weapons, where you have weapon enhancements and modifications in games. So I'm going to basically, I've effectively changed the pictures but copied the slides more or less. So if you've gone through the weapons stuff already, then this is going to be really familiar to you. So the other thing that I want to do is, because of that, is I don't want to take too long. I just want to kind of zip through this reasonably quickly. So I'm going to talk about three things, and the first one is about the upgrade method. So the kind of the real world concept of how your armor is being upgraded. So you can tinker with it and enhance it in various ways by tweaking bits here and there, making it fit better, or that sort of thing. You can add on things to it. Now, this particularly applies with armor more to magical add-ons if you've got a fantasy setting. Here we've got, this is something from one of the God of War games. And you can see in the dialog box that's up here, we've got empty enchantment sockets down there. And so these are basically socketed gems, which is an idea that's sometimes used in video games for enhancement of things. And then the third way to upgrade, which isn't really enhancing the armor that you've got, which is to replace it with better and to have a progress where you go through upgrading through tiers or something. Sometimes games do it as, basically you've got steel armor level 1, steel armor level 2, etc. And you kind of pay for the upgrade somewhat. The next thing that I want to look at then is what changes happen as a result of these enhancements. So what is affected in game? And there are two broad areas which these can happen, but the first one isn't actually that broad, which is armor stats. So most armor will probably only have one stat associated with it, which is the effectiveness of the armor. And how that's used depends on your combat system. Excuse me. So this may be, I've talked about this earlier in the basics, earlier in the series, this may be to do with damage reduction, or it may be to do with damage avoidance, or there may be all sorts of other ways in which you do your calculations for how your armor affects what's happening inside your game. So really it's usually just one number. The other number that may come into play is weight, I guess. And different armor sets might have different weight, which might have penalties in other ways. And the other one is player stats. So this doesn't necessarily make sense in a real world setting, a historical or modern warfare kind of thing, but can make sense to anybody who's played fantasy games. As the idea that you might have stats that belong to the player. It's usually RPG style stats, and these can be enhanced by wearing the right armor. So again, we're going back to our God of War thing here. This one's actually got some socketed gems in, and above that we've got it's showing strength, runic, and defense, and these are player stats inside the game. So how your armor affects your strength, I don't know, but it's magic. So we can allow things that are magic, so we can do that. All right. So moving on. The third thing I want to talk about then, we're going to be nearly done then, is the mechanic. So this is how it is affected through the gameplay. So what does the player have to do in order to get the upgrade to the armor? And there are three ways that I could think of for this to happen. The first is to buy your upgrade. Maybe go to some kind of armor and go, right here, please, I'm going to pay you some money, fit me with extra special steel or whatever it is that's going to happen to your armor. The second one is to craft it. Crafting is becoming more and more popular in games. So there's all sorts of ways of approaching this. Here's a game in which we've over on the right hand side we've got wood, stone, hemp, and iron ore. And there's a thing about kits to improve this, improve your weapons in this game. And then the third one is magic, which is to obviously say some kind of spell or do some kind of enchantment to improve your armor magically. And here's the Minecraft enchanting table, because why not? Because it can be used to enchant armor as well as weapons. So that's a quick run through the concept of upgrading your armor in video games, and that's it from me for now.